U.S. threatening TikTok ban. I thought it wasn't a ban.
Well, it's not. It's a forced sale.
Yeah.
We'll get into that in a second. Let's have a look at this little clip.
Okay, I'll take a look.
Blip of a clip.
Blip of a clip. Let's take a look.
It's not just dancing and cooking videos. TikTok is now increasingly viewed as a national security threat.
TikTok's parent company is beholden to the Chinese government.
That concern about the info TikTok gathers. Its terms of service says it automatically collects geolocation-related data and browsing history of its users. Info parent company ByteDance would be compelled to share with the Chinese Communist Party under Chinese national security laws. Despite that and Chinese interference in the last two Canadian federal elections, the Prime Minister was coy on if Canada would follow a potential American ban.
We've already taken significant measures on that, and we will continue to do that, but we will act in ways that are right for Canadians.
How TikTok algorithms work to help Tavernier and other influencers reach their audience is a closely guarded secret that national security experts warn could be used by the CCP to influence upcoming Canadian elections.
With the amount of data collected on TikTok, that the data could be used in terms of influencing, public opinion in general.
TikTok misusing data isn't just a hypothetical. The company admitted to spying on two journalists who wrote critical articles about the app, Donna, leading to 4 TikTok employees being fired.
Okay, Mackenzie Gray in Ottawa, thanks.
So I wanted to show a Canadian source there, so it's not just
Sure.
American bias, right?
Yeah.
They have their own
It's like America Light.
America Light.
Yeah.
I'm sure Canadians would love to hear that.
Of course they do. They know they're better
just-
in some ways.
They just stood up and cheered.
Yeah, they're like, yeah,
Yeah, I love that.
I am Canadian.
Yeah, and they drank maple syrup.
I don't think they do that, but yeah. Why not? It's great.
Some Canadian friends of mine told me, you know what they do?
What?
In the winter, they'll take a bottle of syrup, and they'll
Okay.
pour it in the snow, and it'll solidify in the snow, and then they eat that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's actually kind of cool.
Yeah.
It's like a maple popsicle.
Yeah,
Okay. Interesting.
it's interesting.
Yeah. Oh.
So what's the catch up here? So basically, this idea is that it's so dangerous, TikTok,
Yeah.
especially for American national security, that it needs to be sold to an American company, right? So that the law said it's not a ban. We're not banning TikTok,
Sure.
even though TikTok keeps saying it's a ban.
Yeah, it's not a ban,
No,
guys.
it's not a ban.
It's a forced sale.
For sale. So you have to sell it to an American company, or it's a national security threat. We're going to take it off app stores, right?
Yeah.
So what does it say? TikTok's critics have long argued that app could put U.S. customer data at risk because Chinese law requires Chinese companies to share information with the government. TikTok has maintained that it operates independently and protects U.S. data through an alliance with Oracle, which firewalls the data from overseas access. So here's the deal.
Yeah.
It passed. The law passed the House, then passed the Senate. President Biden signed it, right?
Yeah.
So basically, they have go to the next slide. They have about a year now to force the sale, or to accept the sale, right?
Okay.
So it says specifically, the law gives ByteDance 9 months to arrange a sale, with the option that President Biden could extend the deadline by 90 days if sufficient progress toward a sale has been made. So 9 months to a year, right?
Yeah.
If it fails to do so, TikTok will be banned from U.S. app stores. But what's next? Well, the TikTok CEO vowed Wednesday that the social media platform will challenge the new law on First Amendment grounds, and they'll have to wait out the next presidential results. But here's the deal. China, and go to the next one, China is basically getting involved, right? We've seen this over and over again.
Because
They're
it's
the
it belongs
spokespeople.
to them.
I mean, to us, TikTok is a Chinese psyop.
Yeah, we know it is. Yeah.
So it's interesting, though, because the House Select Committee on the CCP, which is this bipartisan group, Republicans and Democrats come together and talk about the threats of the Chinese government on America, right? They put together a letter, right? It's very interesting. They put together this letter.
Yeah, TikTok put together a letter to send to them, right?
And then they got a letter from Michael Beckerman, which is
so TikTok sent a letter to
the House committee,
Yeah.
right? About like how unfair this is and all this kind of stuff. But you know what's weird is that this is from Fergus Ryan. This is ASPI, Australian Strategic Policy Institute or whatever, right? What did he say? He said TikTok's head of public policy, and that was the select committee on the CCP, lists the author, who's supposed to be Michael Beckerman,
Yes.
TikTok employee, right?
Yes. It was
As
Jung Han. Yeah, so TikTok sent a letter to this select committee, obviously, like to bitch and complain or whatever it was about this. And it came straight from this guy who's supposed to be, what's his name again? Beckerman? Michael Beckerman.
Yeah. TikTok's head of public
But
policy.
if you look at the metadata of this letter, the actual
Chinese name.
author was Zheng Han.
Interesting.
So this kind of makes you think,
Hmm.
is the Chinese Communist Party or someone connected to the
'Cause
Chinese
no
Communist
one
Party
knows.
writing the letter?
This is
and saying,
hypothetical.
this is what you
Yeah.
send them, forward it off?
This is hypothetical.
Yeah.
However, it's a bit weird. If you go
It's
to
a
the
bit
next one,
strange.
though,
Yeah.
the response from China has been really interesting because
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people are like, wow, this is interesting. China actually won't allow a forced sale of TikTok, right?
Yes,
But I
yes.
thought this was a private company.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
thought they could make the decision.
Yeah, no, China makes the decision because it's the Communist Party of China's PSYOP tool.
So well, and that's what we think. That's what we
Yes.
think it's being used for. The Chinese parent company, ByteDance, is telling, no, we won't accept this. But there is a article, I believe you can get through the links in the description from Wall Street Journal that shows the Chinese government has an interest in that decision.
Yes.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
So I think, this is my theory, by the way,
Okay.
is that ByteDance is trying to look like the good guy here and be like, no, see, this is so unjust. So we're going to fight it in court and we will never accept it. But we'd rather take the app completely away.
Yeah.
It's like, you look like justified. You know what I mean?
Sure.
When in fact, I think my theory is that they'll push it to the last second, probably this is just a theory. Maybe take a forced sale right at the last second if China allows it. If China doesn't allow it, that's why it's not going to be sold. Right.
People also think, oh, it's banned. It's not going to be banned. Being removed from the App Store doesn't mean banned.
Yeah.
You can still use it.
I
You
mean,
just can't download it.
This is just a quick thing.
A quick thing?
Blinken met Xi Jinping, right? People
Yeah.
were asking us about it. I don't think a ton has transpired. At least you might know a little more next week after the whole thing's over and people are like, what do they talk about? All that kind of stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
But my favorite headline, all we have is headlines right now.
Yes.
My favorite headline was the next one.
Okay.
I just thought this was very funnily worded.
Okay.
It says, Blinken warns China to address its support for Russia, or we will. That was hilarious.
Yeah, that's kind of funny.
Anyway,
Yeah.
that's basically it.
Mimi,
She's saying Mimi was a cat. She's calling a cat.
What's this? They're like, oh, look at the sunset.
Yeah, she's like, sunset.
That looks like a dog or something.
Yeah, it's supposed to
But
look
it's
like
like
a
his
dog.
wife.
Oh,
Two bosses had still our eye on ons, discussios.
He's supposed to be Chinese, but he knows the Japanese martial arts, but he's not Chinese or Japanese.
Right.
And you know, what's even better is if you translate the lyrics. It's like, tell me, are you scared? Na 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 na.
Close my eyes, I can almost see it. When I take a breath, you fill up my lungs.